Everyone. Today's topic is e-governments, its success stories and potential pitfalls. So let's get into it. Now, understanding e-governments, let's start by understanding what e-governments actually means. So when we say e-governments, we are basically talking about the use of information and communication technology or ICT by the government. ICT includes things like the internet, computers, mobile phones. The main purpose of here is to deliver services to citizens and interact with them in a more efficient way. So basically, now we think about how things work earlier. Most government processes were paper based, and now you had to physically visit the office, standing long queues, and the whole process used to take a lot of time. So what the e-government does is it replaces all these traditional systems with digital platforms. Now, for example, today we have to file taxes. If you have to file your taxes, you pay your bills, and apply for a certificate, you don't really need to go anywhere physically. Now, why is this important? Because it improves transparency. Everything is recorded digitally, and it improves efficiency. Things happen faster, and it improves accessibility. Services are more available to people. Also, one more important thing, e-governments increases citizen participation. People can now give feedback, raise complaints, communicate directly with the government. So overall, it makes governments more interactive and responsive. Now, why e-governments matters today. Now let's understand why e-governments is so important today. First of all, it improves the speed and the quality of services. Earlier, something that took days or weeks can now be done in 5 minutes. So it saves a lot of time. Second, it helps in reducing corruption. Why? Because when we reduce human interaction, we reduce chances of bribery, manipulation. Everything becomes more system based. Third, it promotes transparency and accountability since everything is recorded digitally. It becomes easier to track actions and hold officials responsible. Another important point is cost and time saving. For citizens, it reduces travel and waiting time. For the government, it reduces paperwork and administrative cost. Also, e-governments improves coordination between different departments. Since data is shared digitally, departments can work more efficiently together. And finally, one of the most biggest advantages, services are available anytime, anywhere, and so you're not restricted by offices and timings or location. Overall, e-governments makes the system faster, cleaner, and more accessible. Now, talking about where e-governments is used, let's see where exactly e-governments is used in real life. One of the most common areas is online tax filing and digital payments. Today, you can easily file taxes or pay bills online without visiting offices. Next is digital identity verification. For example, in India, we have Aadhaar card, which helps in verifying identity quickly and securely. Then we have electronic procurement and online tenders. This means that the government contracts are procured online, which helps corruption and which reduces corruption and ensures fairness. There are also online grievance portals. If you have any complaint, you can file these. You can file it online and even track its progress. Another important area is digitalization of land records and welfare schemes. This reduces fraud and makes records easily accessible. We also see e-governments in healthcare and education, like online consultants, e-prescription, and digital learning platforms. In India, the Digital India initiative is a major step towards expanding all the various services. So, if you notice, e-governments is already a part of our lives every day. Now, the digital divide and the major challenge. Now, while e-governments has many benefits, it also has some of challenges. One of the biggest challenges is the digital divide. So, what does digital divide exactly mean? It means that not everyone has equal access to the digital technologies. For example, in rural areas, internet connectivity is often weak and unavailable. Many people don't have smartphones or computers. Another issue is digital literacy. If people have access, they may not know how to use these technologies properly. Another also, elderly people may find it difficult to adapt digital system. Because of all this, there is a risk that some groups, especially marginalized communities, may be left out of these services. So instead of reducing inequality, it might actually increase it if not handled properly. That's why e-governments need to focus on improving infrastructure and spreading digital education. Only then e-governments can become truly inclusive. Now, talking about security and privacy risks in digital governments, let's talk about another important concern, security and privacy. E-government system store a large amount of data, sensitive data like personal identity, financial details, and health records. Because of this, they became targets for cyber attacks and hacking. If data is leaked, it can lead to serious issues like identity theft or fraud. Another concern is misuse of data. If proper rules are not followed, personal information can be used without consent. Also, if people feel that their data is not safe, they may lose trust in digital systems. So, to solve this, government must implement strong cybersecurity system, use encryptions, and introduce strict data protection laws. In simple terms, for e-commerce to succeed, people must feel that their data is secure and their privacy is respected. Now, talking about the implementation challenges in e-governments. Now, let's take a look at the practical challenges in implementing e-governments. First, in the high cost, building digital infrastructure like servers, networks, softwares, it requires a lot of investment. Second, there can be technical issues like system failure, server crashes, which can disrupt services. Another major challenge is resistance to change. Many people are used to traditional system and may not be comfortable shifting to digital platforms. There is also a shortage of skilled professionals who can manage these systems efficiently. Coordination between different departments can also be difficult because each department may have its own system. And now, finally, digital systems require continuous updates and maintenance. So, implementing e-governments is not only just labor technology; it can also involves managing people, system, and process efficiently. Now, talking about a global story, a success story, Estonia. Estonia is considered one of the most advanced countries in terms of e-governments. Here, 99% of public services are available online. That means citizens can access almost everything digitally. They use secure digital ID cards to access services like banking, healthcare, and government portals. One very interesting feature is online voting. Citizens can vote digitally, which increases participation and convenience. Their tax system is also very fast. People can file taxes within minutes. Healthcare is also digital with features like e prescription and online medical records. So, Estonia shows us if that e governance is implemented properly, it can completely transform how a country functions. Now, finally, let's talk about the future of e-governments is digital. It is clear that the future of e-governments is digital. E-governments will continue to improve transparency and efficiency. It will also increase citizen participation, making governments more democratic and inclusive. However, challenges like digital divide and cybersecurity still exist, need to be addressed. Government must invest in better infrastructure, improve digital literacy, and ensure strong data security. If this is done properly, e governments can create a system that is not only efficient but also inclusive and citizen friendly. So, overall, the potential is huge. We just need to implement it carefully.